Hello and welcome back to Marketing 404. I'm Scott Rees and I'm joined by Joe Edwards.
Hey!
So today we're going to run through a beginner's guide to account-based marketing, which by the looks of things, by the looks of that graph you sent me the other day, Joe, is quite a trendy topic, right?
It's super trendy. Like, when was it? About 2015?
Yeah, just shot up and up and up and up and up. It's gone from almost nothing to everywhere.
One of the most talked about marketing trends going, I guess. It's every marketer's new best friend. And for good reason too. It's become trendy for a good reason. There's a lot of cool stats and factoids floating around. One I prepared earlier was that 97% of marketers said they had a higher return on investment from ABM than other marketing campaigns. Quite impressive.
Very impressive.
3% of 100, that is.
Is that almost unbelievable? What's that?
Quick maths.
So, and that does remind me of that other statistic which you've written down for me, which is 75% of executives would say they would read unsolicited marketing materials containing ideas relevant to their business, which is pretty remarkable. Very effective technique.
For sure, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's dive straight in. Joe, can you give me an overview of account-based marketing, or ABM for short?
I can give it a go.
Please do. That's why we're here.
How I'll do this, I guess, is by comparing it to traditional mass-based marketing. So mass marketing, you have a target persona in mind. You build digital audiences through broad demographic, firmographic, and psychographic data. Like, think of LinkedIn, all those kind of cool little targeting mechanisms they give to you. With mass marketing, follow-up is maybe automated quite a lot of the times. HubSpot, Marketo, Pardot is probably doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Trade shows and events are probably part of the core marketing mix. And CTAs are usually kind of quite low value items. We're talking ebooks, free trials, that sort of thing. Does that paint a good picture for you for mass marketing?
It does indeed.
Tell
us about account-based marketing, how that differs.
So in contrast to what I just ran through, account-based marketing, you're usually targeting a known set of contacts or accounts, usually a subset of your target persona, but these are people you already know. Follow-up is hyper-personalized. A company we've worked with in the past called Punch do personalized video as part of their follow-up. They go for this like really nice omni-channel approach where they might send a direct mail message and then follow up over email which contains a personalized video with them holding a board with the person's name in it. It's really, really quite cool.
I guess maybe stating the obvious here, but I guess it's important to think why companies would do account-based marketing, because obviously it's quite a bit more costly, right? It's like, I guess they're doing it because the target contacts are so valuable to them.
Yeah, so here you're really trying to accelerate that sales cycle for a specific set of accounts or known contacts. It's almost like nurture on steroids, I guess, is maybe a nice way to think about it. And one of the biggest elements that make it steroidy, I've got to get steroids off the brain, is that the CTAs are usually quite high value items, or not the CTAs, but the value of the items you're sending. You might include iPads, video brochures, whatever, those sorts of things within your account-based marketing programs.
iPads, that's pretty cool.
Maybe we might even go into this in more detail later.
More examples coming up, hopefully.
Maybe.
And then I guess one of the key differences between ABM and digital marketing as a whole is emphasis on an interesting channel in the 21st century. Direct mail is kind of making a bit of a comeback, right?
Yeah, exactly that. That's a very good point. So good, in fact, I'd already moved on to my next slide. But it's well worth mentioning. Yeah. Direct mail is kind of huge in the ABM world making a bit of a comeback, and it's kind of entirely different to the direct mail items you receive from mass marketing efforts.
Yeah.
They're not those generic pieces of mail you just chuck in your recycling bin.
Personalised, handwritten quite often.
Yeah,
they know who the recipient is.
Personalised, handwritten, got high value items kind of sent with them. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So it's a really good overview. But there is 3 types of ABM, right?
Mm-hmm.
One to many, one to few, and one to one.
Yep.
Do you want to run us through those quickly?
So 1-to-1's probably the most famous of the ABM tactics, probably where it was born from. Maybe I've just made that up. But here you're essentially trying to treat an account as its own entire market. Here you might want to target a specific account that you know is showing an intent to buy, and you really want to kind of accelerate that sales cycle, touch base with all the kind of key stakeholders to make sure your company is front of mind when they do go to make that purchase decision.
Okay, cool. And one to few?
So one to few is very similar to 1-to-1. You're just kind of looking to apply those same principles at scale. So you might have a set of accounts that kind of share similar needs and interests, so you kind of bucket them all under
like a sector maybe.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, cool. All right, and lastly, one to many.
One to many. This is probably the most marketing pure of the ABM ones. The other two should most definitely be run in parallel with the sales teams. But one to many, usually you're targeting at least, I'd say, 50 different organizations or contacts, which is typically supplemented through intent-based data. And I like to think of this in 2 parts. There's micro intent-based data, so this is your own internal data. So you might want to run an ABM campaign into your MQLs to try turn them into sales accepted leads, or you might use macro intent-based data through platforms like TechTarget, BrightTalk, Cyence, who will help you identify the names of people who are already in purchase mode but might not necessarily know who you are.
Good stuff. All right. So could you give us, moving on, some examples of ABM in action?
I can. I've prepared a few, and I'll do 2 contrasting ones. The first is quite a quick, nice one. This was an organisation who sent an empty iPad box to their prospects, and included within the box there was no iPad. Plot twist, but there was a note that basically promised the recipients a free iPad if they agreed to a meeting, face-to-face meeting.
Who would turn that down?
Exactly. And another one is the example done by Invoker, who targeted 600 delegates at an event using an omni-channel approach. So they use direct mail, email, display ads, outbound calls, targeting all these 600 delegates. Plus, there was an obligatory offer of an iPad watch, similar to the iPad box example, that if they agreed to a meeting, they'd get an Apple Watch.
Apple Watch, yeah.
So the moral of the story is buy lots of Apple stuff and give it away.
Yeah,
I think. Is that what?
Does
the A stand for Apple?
Do Apple sponsor this podcast? Yeah. Cool. All right. So awesome introduction to ABM there. Just to sum it up, ABM can be expensive but high impact. It's a great way to nurture existing contacts, especially when you focus on the key accounts, and there's lots of opportunity to be a bit more fun, a bit more quirky, stand out, and make an impact in your market. So yeah, thanks for listening. See you again soon.
Bye.